Welcome back to the grim darkness of the 41st millennium. I'm Inquisitor Temperance Prize, keeper of the Inquisition's Black Library, and this is my report on the Valentyne Heresy, an actual play podcast set in the Genesis adaptation of Warhammer 40,000's Dark Heresy RPG. This report features Game Master Tom McGee and players Ryan LaPlante as Inquisitor Lucius Valentine, Tyler Hewitt as Attikus Viz, Del Borovic as Morgan Rolls, and Josh Halbot as Gideon Vega. My report shows that the Inquisitorial band are in a desperate battle with the forces of chaos. Gideon's powers failed him, Morgan was bowled over by Nurglings, Attikus dropped Trin Rakai's servitor body in the center of the battle, and Valentine formed a tenuous alliance with a demon of Tzeentch to kill a champion of Nurgle. Can these heroes make it out of this room alive? Find out next in this episode of the Valentyne Heresy.
Sticky scientist to an overseer.
I don't understand. Why keep them alive?
It's quite simple. I want them to watch us destroy all their horrible dreams. Besides, they can't get out of that cage, and even if they did, what are they gonna do?
Well, we're finding out what they do, and it's brutal and painful for everyone but the party, inexplicably. Valentine, you've just run across the nightmare design floor of the sort of laboratory silo of Cleon, the Dreaming City. You're on your way to the security floor of the main building in order to open the gates for Orgath to start his campaign of vengeance from the ground floor up. As well as finding your way to the warp gate in order to make your jump to the Black Library. To get there, though, you've been forced on a detour through the nightmare design floor of the lab and have encountered a number of Nurgling swarms, an angry overseer. You've set free a few Tzeentch followers, including a jacked-up astral spectre that is currently harassing the overseer. However, things are going badly for the Inquisitorial party. Though you have made it across the room, Gideon has been beset by warp glitches and Nurglings and has taken a rather heavy critical hit from the Nurglings, causing him to be on the brink. He is taking strain constantly. Morgan has been knocked over by a carpet of Nurglings who are happily leaping up and down upon her. And Attikus, in an attempt to run across the room with his malfunctioning power fist, has dropped Trin Rakai, the Eldari Soulstone, who is currently plugged into Lizardman the Servitor, a sentence I never thought I would say.
Yeah.
So we are at the top of the initiative order, which is Gideon.
Yeah, so Gideon's not having a great day.
Yeah.
But I think he when he first experienced the perils of the warp and came back to Morgan, I think the first thing he was doing was like reaching for that plasma gun, like shedding all faith he had in his psionic powers. Mm-hmm. So he was like fumbling for it to like try and bring it forward. But before he could bring it forward, the swarm hits Morgan, and then the swarm hits him, and he can't reach it. And he keeps fighting for it and trying to grab it and like, no. And then he's going to look at Morgan like on the ground and look at these ones like all covering him. And I think he's just going to think about Orgath and the being at the brink of everything. And he's going to remember to just let everything go. And he's going to close his eyes for a second. And then he's going to, and this might hit you as well, if that's okay, and he's going to let out...
You're making your own decisions over there, buddy.
He's on the floor going, ah!
Yeah. And he's going to let out a blast.
Great.
So he's got a blast, and it's going to be a close combat one as well, because they're like right up in my business. And we're going to see what happens.
So you're spicing it up from the attack, upping the difficulty to make it close combat, and upping the difficulty to make it blast so you can catch multiple things in it.
Yes.
Nice.
And an incredible thing happened. So I got... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 successes and a triumph, but 3 threat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, like
that's huge.
Everything worked out for a second there.
We all found happiness, every one of us.
But this might hurt a little bit.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay. 3 threat, huh?
So the damage to this will be 10 plus 6 for 16 psychic fire damage, if I'm correct?
So it's my agility doubled.
Times 2, which takes you to 10.
Yeah.
Plus your successes on the attack.
Plus the successes plus 1, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Spicy.
Okay, so let's go through this in order.
Yep.
First, spend your 2 strain for casting, plus your 2 strain
My 4 strain,
for
so down to 9.
for your panic. The blast will obliterate the Nurglings. There's not soak enough in the world to save them from that. So the fire hits, wipes out the Nurgling swarm on you, wipes out the Nurgling swarm on Morgan. And how much damage did you say it does, Josh?
16.
16 damage. Okay. So that means that I'm basically going to treat them as Morgan's soak because she's got a carpet of them on her. Mm-hmm. So 6 damage will pass through to you that can still, your soak can still absorb.
I have exactly 6 soak.
Hey.
Great. So the wall of Nurglings just
Don't breathe out. Some of us know Josh's rules.
Correct.
Yes. Oh.
So the fire washes across you.
Yeah.
No, fire washes across you. The Nurglings all scream and burn up. And you kind of blink out of the ashes of them as you look up. But I got 3 threat, which means I'm gonna spend them on the perils of the warp. So go ahead and roll that die.
Here's the other thing. She is still on fire for another turn. It's a burn attack, so she burns for another full turn after this.
Still on fire.
Yep.
Great.
Didn't you roll a triumph? What was that?
I was going to say, can I use this triumph on anything? Can I mitigate some perils?
Oh, actually, that's a... Yeah, I feel like that's a worthy... I think that's a worthy spend to block a Perils of the Warp. So, yeah, the fire erupts out of you. You see the Nurglings burn up on you. You see the Nurglings burn up on Morgan. You realize Morgan survived being swarmed and is now on fire. This is the second time you set a mom on fire in as many hours.
Burnt up.
Hot moms in your area.
But as the overwhelming feeling of kind of release and just letting go, letting the warp energies flow through you, you can still feel your hand glitching a bit. And you almost feel like your consciousness slip out through this into going full Perils of the Warp. But now that you felt what that feels like, you're able to kind of rein it back in and just by sheer force of will, tamp down. You're still glitching, but you don't invert or explode or cause more damage. So yeah, great use of a triumph.
Perfect.
Right time.
Excellent.
Yep.
Good.
Right time, right space.
And then I think he'll extend a hand to Morgan to try and help her.
Morgan's on the ground on fire.
Yeah. But he's like,
he's fine with this fire.
I let you use your maneuver, I think, to try and pat Morgan down. That feels it doesn't necessarily feel like an
Morgan
action.
is just
I think
trying to get all these
so
things off
we'll
of
say
her.
it's a boost to Morgan putting the fire out, but just
Weirdly enough, because it's psychic fire, it will just last one more turn and then it goes away.
Oh.
So it's not normal fire.
Would you still try?
I think he would still try.
Okay,
Yeah,
I think you would
makes
start trying to pat the fire, the ethereal flame,
I think the serenity of the
Morgan
moment
is-
kind of wears off of Gideon, and he and the fire for him is not an issue, so he sees that and just goes to help you up, and then snaps out of it, saying, "Oh shit, sorry."
And she's just after all those things burnt up, then it's it's still hot.
Roll over.
You already stopped. You already dropped. I need you to roll.
You have to.
Can your brain roll? Attikus, you are mid-room running towards Valentine. Trin Rakai has fallen off your back.
Yeah.
He's your ticket out of here, which you would know from previous sessions. So,
and you face the overseer.
Yep. Who is right there.
I think Attikus so far looks at this as he's failed to be a sufficient distraction because his allies got absolutely swarmed when he ran out that door. He's okay, not good enough. Trin Rakai is on the floor. Valentine's made it to the other end of the room. Have we at the table or in the Inquisitorial band, have we come up with any kind of effective way to deal with Nurglings?
Nope.
So it's just kind of whatever.
We're fucking winging it.
We're just all trying cool stuff. Okay.
The plan was to sneak to the top of this tower.
We
blew that one up the
fail.
moment we arrived.
And so far, all of the other encounters have been either like sniping at distance or
running.
Yeah, subterfuge and distraction.
Okay. The only thing we've seen kill it has been Gideon's fire narratively.
Okay.
Because we saw that the first time we met him.
Okay. Inquisitors at the door, so theoretically can get to cover. I'm in the middle-ish of this room near the Overseer.
Yep, you're in the same band as the Overseer, which does mean you take 2 strain.
On the start of my
stinky
turn?
Yeah, just being in the stink.
That's all right. Okay, I think I'm going to kick Trin Rakai. Just going to boot him the rest of the way across the room over to Valentine.
Okay.
Like, get him so now like the 2 most important assets are safe.
Okay. So I'll let you use your maneuver for that.
Okay.
Let's get an athletics, though, for it to make sure it goes through. It's going to be difficulty 3. He's heavy. A boost for... I mean, when I was playing Attikus as well, just like the deep disdain for having this Eldar with you at all, and just the getting to boot it is a nice thing you get to do. I've been having to play nice with a lot of heresy lately, so getting to put boot to it is good. I'll give you a boost for just the amount of slime and ooze I've described. I feel like
slippery.
Everything's viscous here, so yeah. And I think I'll give you a setback for the amount of Nurglings that are around. It just makes kicking things in a straight line harder because it might hit them. And
I have a very stupid pitch for a boost. The servitor currently has fake stuffed arms and legs, so if the Nurglings try to stop it, they'll just pull the jumpsuit off.
Well, I was more so meaning if you boot them and they run in front, then it might.
That makes more sense.
Yeah,
Okay, then
but
you're
I do
fine.
like that, and I would allow it. That's
Very
actually kind of why I gave him the boost last time.
I was like,
gnawing on the fake arm.
Makes sense.
But no, this is more in a slapstick comedy movie when something is sliding along the ground. There's stuff like running back and forth in front. Yeah,
got it.
So I think that's it.
Okay.
Yep.
Only for advantage.
For advantage. Okay, so you boot Trin Rakai, and he kind of like spins a bit. Is there something you want to spend that advantage on?
I'm looking.
Yeah.
You could disarm the Overseer. Just kick the servitor directly into him.
No, if he wasn't, if he wasn't
chaotic
important,
over here now.
if he wasn't important, I would. I do want to mess with the Overseer, though.
Okay.
But I haven't successfully kicked him across the room, right?
No, you boot him and he slides a little bit, but there's just the viscous goo works both for and against you in that it's just like it's sticky enough that he just kind of sludges ahead a little bit, but not as far as you'd like.
All these you talked about them as like chalkboards and stuff like that. Are they like the old university ones that are like on wheels and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to just grab one of the boards and make it just like a mobile wall and just push the Overseer, just push this wall into him, just become like a buffer against the Overseer.
Okay. All right.
And attempt to pin him against the wall.
Okay.
Between the chalkboard that I'm pushing and the wall. Just keep him pinned there.
Okay, let's get this is probably athletics again.
Okay.
I think I'll roll against you with.
You want me to remove the
no,
difficulty
I don't need to.
Or, and we'll just compare.
I think this is an opposed check, to be honest. But he's got a ton of disadvantage from stuff. So you want to mess with the Overseer. Were you spending your advantage on that?
Yeah, that was going to be the advantage to do that.
I think we'll say you catch him unawares. So I will give him fairly deep disadvantage on this.
Okay.
So he's got 4. Okay. So I'm going to give him, setback for being caught unaware. He also has one of his skills downgraded because he's jinxed. So he loses a green die. I would like to give him more disadvantage. I just don't really know how to justify it because it's like the chalkboard is the equivalent of him like dropping something, right? Like that's the advantage spend is just like inconvenience the enemy in some.
Well, this was also a maneuver, right? So I still have an action. Like I want to spend the whole thing to pin him.
Well, I thought you were spending your action to pin him.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to math out how you like what. Basically, try to make sure you get the most bang for your buck from the advantage you spent. Is where I'm playing with it. So, okay. Here's what we'll say. Rather than counting that as disadvantage on his roll, we'll say he can't attack you if you're pinning him with the chalkboard because you're on the other side of a board.
Right,
so the advantage is that he is inconvenienced from getting at you, and then we'll just roll this check to see if he's pinned against the wall or if you're
stuck in the middle, kind of pushing against each other.
Okay. Cool. Okay. I've got shit for this, but I'm ready to roll.
Okay. And I've taken away my boost die. I'm doing this is the same pool for my athletics roll from before. So I took away the boost because it's a different situation. Am I using the same difficulty of 3 or am I not applying difficulty?
No difficulty at all. It's just a straight roll off.
Okay.
I have 3 green, so your odds are decent.
We'll see.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go. Okay. I got 2 success and 2 advantage.
I got 4 successes and 5 advantage.
5 advantage. Mm-hmm. Shit.
I want to kick all my advantage forward to my comrades.
Okay. Do you want to name? Because you can either kick 1 forward to just like whoever's next, or you could spend. I guess you could send 2 specific advantage forward and then 1 general advantage.
Yeah, I'll do 1 forward to whoever's next, and then I'll spend the other 2. 1 for Morgan and 1 for Gideon. And Attikus is just pressing this guy against the wall and just over his shoulder shouting, "Move!" to you 2 at the other end of the room.
Great. Okay. Awesome. Love that. Morgan.
Yep.
You're on fire.
Okay. The first instinct is to just roll. I'm already prone. And she doesn't think this is psychic fire. It will just go out on its own. It's like, I am on fire. I'm trying to roll around. I don't know if that's a maneuver or if that's an action. I'm just to try to stop being on fire. However that works.
Yeah, so there's, Ryan, am I understanding correctly that nothing puts it out, it just goes out?
You take, from what I remember, you take the base damage, which is 10. Mm-hmm. So you take 10 fire damage at the start of your turn.
Okay.
Yep, right.
So and then I still get my soak.
And then,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then the fire goes out.
Yep, so rolling around.
Yeah.
Fire dissipates.
All right. And then and then Morgan is getting up. I feel like it burnt most of her jumpsuit off. She smells like burning hair. She's going to get up, and then I heard Attikus say move. We don't have great fighting defenses against any of this. I want to run. I don't know if I can use a maneuver or that and my action. I would like to run and take Gideon with me down the room. That's it. I don't want to do anything else. I want to just run us down the room.
Okay. So Gideon's already taken an action. Mm-hmm. So I think what I'd probably need from you, Morgan, is an athletics to grab him.
Right.
And we'll see your action is grabbing. Basically, you can double move, like as we did with Attikus or Valentine, I forget which one of it was.
Cost strain, but you can.
You can cost the strain to add an extra move, and you can downgrade your action to a move. So you could theoretically move 3 bands on your own, or you could use your action to grab Gideon and drag him.
2 bands.
2 bands if you spend the strain.
Yes.
Faster alone or slower together?
Well, this is a Morgan Rawls question. Like,
it really is. This is well, I have to think about this. This is you just set her on fire.
He's not going to be offended if you run away.
Don't make it easy. She doesn't know what's going on. That Josh is a very nice man.
She didn't help you with your question of whether or not to set her on fire.
We do all live in a world where, as players, I think we can safely say we are all fine with terrible consequences happening to our characters because of player decision. And that's a reasonable thing to say. He can't tell you that Gideon's going to be cool with it.
Maybe he
might not be.
Maybe he'll be upset.
I'm so sorry.
Why?
As you consider leaving him.
Please do not leave me.
She might turn around and just say, "Go fuck yourself," and run into the future. So you don't know.
I'm sorry. I tried to burn you up. You're like a mother to me. I have these powers. Mother burning power.
I just need a mother so badly.
Big cords.
I love her and I hate her.
I love her when she does not burn, but I love her when she does.
My middle name is Oedipus.
Don't look into it.
It's just a name from a book.
For me, it's just a fire thing. I only read the back cover. Yeah. It was unclear about the ending. Said it was important. Big twist.
I think in Morgan's mind, Morgan's like thinking, okay, get the asset, get to the other side of the room. And she's already running without him. She's like, thinks she's going to do it, but her body is like, goodbye. Goodbye.
Strategizing for what to do while Mr. Presidenting no one.
Yeah, because it's like her body is so scared of all the stuff that happens. It's acting before she can consciously think about what she should be doing.
All right. I think with that logic, then you're also not picking up Trin Rakai.
Oh, no, I'm
just straight
the
up
other
get
end
to
of
the
the
other.
room.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So you can spend 3. You can move. So spend your strain.
Yep.
You move 3 bands, which does bring you into Overseer Town. That said, I think because Attikus is pressing him against the wall, I'm going to say the stench doesn't reach you.
Okay.
He's living in it, but you're all clear. So yeah, there are a bunch of Nurglings here, but you are on your way through.
Okay. And then it's running home to Valentine at this point. Goodbye.
Fair enough. Okay, so that brings us to enemy turns. So the spectral creature sees Attikus rough up the Overseer, but his brother is Valentine, not Attikus. So I think it's just going to scream, "Mine!" At you, Attikus.
He doesn't
Attikus is
understand
dumb too,
teams.
so this is perfect.
Yeah, so it will go. It's going to do a warp howl at you. So its telekinesis is jacked up from a triumph earlier. Against
we made it stronger.
I don't think I get any boost. Don't think I get any setback. Oh, actually, you know what? No, I get 1 boost from the fact that you are immobily holding.
I'm not going anywhere.
Holding a thing. I will give it a Nurgling setback because there are Nurglings running around everywhere that will also cause it problems if they stumble into it. So I've got 3 yellow, 1 blue, 2 purple, 1 black. Would you like to spend a story point to make my day worse?
No.
Yep. Okay, so that's 1 success and 2 advantage. So you'll take 3 damage that ignores soak.
Ignores soak. Cool.
Yeah, because it's in your head. It's not armor. It's psychic pain. You'll take 1 strain.
Okay.
And here's where it gets bad. It's going to spend its advantage to move you. So it basically, like, this is very much, I imagine this is like X-Men Banshee shit. So just like screams at you, and your vision blurs. It's in your head screaming. And I think it's just a matter of like stumbling to the side as it launches itself forward to where you were. Ironically, it smashes into this. It's doing the same thing you were just doing, but it's trying to get past the board at the Overseer. So weirdly, Attikus, you're still getting what you wanted. It's just it's doing it now, not you, and you took some damage.
So it's shoved me aside. I haven't been like flung far. I'm just kind of slightly displaced a little.
Yeah. You can imagine it as just stumbling a bit as this piercing shriek is filling the inside of your head.
Yeah.
But then kind of as you blink it out, you're just moved slightly to the side. You didn't get any. No one gave you random advantage, eh?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Well, the next person who rolls gets the 1 random.
Yeah, that'd go forward to yourself.
Okay.
So I'm
going to say you can spend that advantage to move closer to Valentine in the door.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't? Okay. You can use the advantage to move in whichever, because you're going left or right of this chalkboard.
Okay.
So left puts you back towards where you came from, deeper into the room. Right puts you closer towards the door.
I think Valentine would yell from where he was because he's got a chance to see this because he's clear of this battle and just say, "Colonel, the servitor."
Yeah.
Valentine doesn't give a shit about this fight. We got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay,
If I can
that's
take
fine.
option 3 of not left, not right, but backwards into the middle of the room where the servitor is lying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. That's fine. So you can take advantage of this horrible psychic nonsense in your head. I think it probably helps you overcome the psychic nonsense because you have a job to do, and that's very much Atticus's bread and butter. Okay, so that's the Astral Horror. Let's get the Overseer. Overseer is pinned behind a chalkboard. What the fuck is he going to do? He's got the Astral thing kind of going for him. Yeah, he's going to use his maneuver to summon his weapon. So he just kind of like, you hear kind of gooey, horrible squelching noises as bone kind of stretches out of its hand. Not that it's growing new bone like Wolverine, but just it's displacing
moving
its arm bones
from somewhere in its body into its hand.
And it's going to just Assassin's Creed through the board at this astral thing. So let's see how that goes. As I roll against myself again. So everybody take 5.
Yay.
And I'll roll some
NPC
dice.
fight. NPC fight.
Okay, so it's...
No matter who loses, we win.
That's right. 2,
Kill each other. NPC fight.
3, and a
I like
green
it squished into one. Empathy.
NPC fight.
gets a setback from being pinned behind a wall. It has to downgrade a skill, so one of those greens or yellows turns into a green. Lols. It's going to get a boost from the creature being stuck where it is.
I don't have any of this. I just have Blaze Pistol.
And it's a close combat attack. Okay, so I'm rolling with 2 yellow, 2 green, 1 blue, 2 purple, 1 black. Okay, so I get 1 success and 1 threat.
Oh.
So strange. Okay, so going to do a bunch of damage to
The chalkboard.
Mr. Beaky?
Assuming that's
Mr.
gonna
Beaky.
finish him off if he wasn't looking good before.
We'll find out. There's a chalkboard involved. I don't.
It's true.
This chalkboard
Anything's
is who I'm
possible.
really cheering for. This one. I just want them to keep wrestling while we
Chalkboard fight.
leave.
Yeah.
Chalkboard fight. Okay, so that is 9, 10 damage to Mr. Beaky. Yeah, Mr. Beaky's done. The blade pierces through it, and it just squawks and says, "Avenge me, brother!"
Valentine's ignoring it.
as it fades to mist.
I'll miss him.
No, Valentine isn't just disappointed. He looks at it and says, "What a tremendous disappointment you are."
There it is. There it is.
Brother, and it fades away. So yeah, it's down, and with a squelching laugh, the overseer shoves the chalkboard over, and looks around, and it just like. It's a weird scene. Also, look at it. Overseer was. We were having a good time. We were having a good time here, vandalizing shit. And now, like, there's burnt up Nurglings. The scientists are cowering. Yeah, things are getting out of hand. And obviously, Attikus is kind of the biggest target. You can see.
Big
So
little target.
he just
Little big
snarls at you with kind of like disgusting stuff flying out of his mouth, but his turn is burnt, so that's all that. Now for the Nurglings. So Attikus, you are still Morgan and Attikus are both near Nurglings, so it's going to be 1 swarm for each.
Great.
Attikus, what's your defense?
Defense 1.
1. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I can give you any boost for anything. I've got a setback for your defense. I'll give them another setback for all the chaos that's happening around them. It means the swarm is less effective because there's like you're stumbling around and like the chalkboard just flipped over and there's all sorts of bullshit going on. So I got 3 yellow, 3 green, and 2 black against 2 purple. And 2 purple because it's a melee attack. Anything you want to spend there, Attikus?
Nope.
Nope. Great. Okay. I get 3 advantage.
Crit time.
No, because I didn't hit.
Oh, right.
I
Yeah,
can't
very nice.
do any crit stuff. So what I'll say is they all like jump up at you. It's again that like little tidal wave. They miss you, but with my 3 advantage, I can do something that disadvantages you. So they're going to bump Trin Rakai 1 band back towards the door you came in.
All right.
Just as they tumble over you. And Trin Rakai's just like, someone fucking save me. Anyone? I can't. I hate this. It's just like the body gets shoved down. And then for you, my friend,
Yes.
Morgan, we've
3
got
defense.
3 defense. Okay, so I've got my swarm stats there. You got 3 defense, another setback for the general chaos of everything, and we roll That is 5 success. So
Shit.
they smell that burnt hair, and oh man, that is a tasty treat for Nurglings. They just want it so much. So that is 9 damage in total.
Okay. So I'll soak 6 of that. And I am past half health at this point. Morgan is looking rough, bite marks.
Cool. So they're nomming down on you. The other 2 swarms burnt up, so they're done. Which brings us to Valentine. You're at the door. You're seeing all this unfold.
Yeah. Valentine is going to have. There's so many different priorities in this room, and he's like ticking them off. Where he's like, keep the interrogator alive. That is a priority. Keep Attikus alive. That is a priority. The biggest threat in this room, however, is not actually the Nurglings. We can probably handle those collectively if we can focus on them. This big guy is the problem. Step 1 would have been get Trin Rakai loose, but he doesn't even have that option. So this is the point where everybody's being surrounded by Nurglings and staggering around, and the big boss has rammed forwards and killed a demon and is trying to figure out what to do in this room, which is the perfect moment for a power sword to swing out of nowhere because Valentine has been moving this whole time to just take this big bastard on the moment he's clear. The reason he was so disappointed was he really just wanted to stab him through a whiteboard. It felt like a better advantageous position for an assault, but he is going to charge in and attack from the side.
Sure.
So what is this thing's defense?
Only 2.
Yep, because that's... Okay, so the difficulty's 2 because it's melee, and he's got 2 defense.
Correct.
Which gives me those. Great.
You'll take 2 strain from the stench.
Well, yeah, that's a given. He doesn't give a shit about that.
I will give you a...
Is any of his defense stench based?
No, it's from his horrible body.
Horrible. That's why I wanted to check because I was like, if the tempered will can remove setback dice, but I was like, if this physical armor can't affect it, if it's creepy, most people can't attack.
Oh
then
yeah,
it would
no,
be different.
no, he's just
Physically durable.
chunky.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see. I'll give you a boost for, again, just like the general havoc that's going on around him. He's not looking directly at you. He's just shoved the board over and he's trying to figure out his priorities. He's looking at Attikus.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's it, honestly, for boost.
Great. I'm going to spend a story point because this is Inquisitor versus Demon, which feels like...
Yep.
More importantly, low-level demon in humanoid form. This is Inquisitor versus leader of a corrupt cell in a lot of hives and other situations.
And you know what? I will take one of his defense away for the jinx.
Oh,
okay.
right.
Yep, that
Supposed
makes sense.
to like lower his skill checks, but yeah, I think that's the closest I can do.
Yeah, that feels like a fair reflection of it.
Yeah.
This is the guy that Morgan shot already, right?
This is the Overseer.
Yeah.
The original guy
shot a
that
big
we've
chunk out of his
that
face.
we've been trying to get the whole time.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, let's see what happens.
Let's kick it.
3 success and 2 advantage.
Hot diggity
This
damn.
is a power sword, so it will be doing 13 damage with Pierce 4. And I will activate a crit because it is crit 2 with the power sword strike.
Nice.
Can I borrow that D10, Josh? Thank you. The crit will be... It is a 54. This is normally Sunder and Destructive, but I don't think that affects Vicious. Different. 54 means it is a fearsome wound. The target increases the difficulty of all presence and willpower checks by 1 until this injury is healed.
And willpower and presence, you said?
Willpower and presence.
Great.
Harder to focus, harder to be charismatic when you got a goddamn power sword impaled directly through your heart. Doesn't kill it because Nurgle, but Valentine really knows a torso kill shot when he can make one. And it's just him saying, "For the Emperor!" as the blade goes in, wrench it around, yank it back out.
Yeah. Okay. So a sound hit. It is looking rough. It's still up. But yeah, it's, you can feel as you jam your sword through, like, again, it's just, it benefits from being so many different, like, weird gloopy muscle groups. And also one of the fun gifts of Grandfather Nurgle is the inability to feel pain. So it's just like you can feel, like, you pull the sword out and like guts come with it, but it's wearing guts like a boa anyway. So this really is just gotta fucking keep shredding this thing.
Oh yeah, Valentine is in Attikus versus a Space Marine mode. This doesn't end until this is just a selection of pieces, and then he'll be stomping on those.
But you get the sense that this thing has high. If it were in water, it would soak a lot. So you get the sense that
it's highly durable. Of course,
it's highly durable. But you still feel like you did struck a considerable blow, despite how hearty it is. And now it's got the critical wound on it as well. Okay, so that is Valentine. Top of the round, Gideon, you are the furthest from anything, but there is a servitor getting booted slowly towards you. And Attikus chasing along the ground like someone chasing a fucking coin or something that's getting booted around in a busy scene. What do you do?
Yeah, I think that's going to be Gideon's. I think he's starting to get like Saving Private Ryan medic face, and you can see him starting to zone out a little bit and not being, and then he snaps back when he hears Valentine screaming about Trin, and he sees Trin slide. And someone help me! And so he'll kind of shake it off and scuttle and go and try and grab him.
Okay, great. So let's get. We'll say your maneuvers to get up to him. I think we can see your actions to just pick him up. I'm not going to make you roll athletics or anything because this is literally just like
heaving him up.
You're not grabbing him. It's not the problem Morgan had, which is like grabbing someone to run. It's literally you run up, hoist up over your shoulder, and you can spend 2 strain to move again.
Well, I have to spend 2 strain to pick him up because I'm at the brink.
Action.
Yep.
And then you can spend 2 more strain to move a second time if you so desire.
Tired boy.
So that's up to you. But
that would take me down to 5. That's not ideal. Would a second move get me?
So you are. One band gets you to
second band.
So this would get you just into the middle of the room. You're not getting to the door. So if you're feeling tired, just pick him up and then
I think he's just gonna go and like heavy breathing, slug him over his shoulder and introduce himself. They've never met. Hello, sorry.
Jeffrey's running along behind you, just holding part of it, holding the actually heavy part up while you hold the legs and just the hip.
I was gonna say there are no legs or hip.
No, I mean I meant the soft legs because you stuffed him in a jumpsuit, right?
Oh, yeah.
So what I'm saying is
you're just holding stuff.
You hoist him up and you get it's like when 2 people are carrying a heavy thing and when someone's actually holding most of it. So you've got his hips, which are metal, and then his soft legs, and then Jeffrey's behind you holding the bulk of him, just walking.
Don't worry, Jeffrey. I'll get the legs.
I'll do the heavy lifting.
Yeah, but honestly, for you, this is heavy. You're a nobleman. You don't lift shit. This is you are really putting in the hours here.
Did you ever see Friends, Jeffrey? Pivot. You have to pivot, Jeffrey. Pivot.
Jeffrey just shakes his head, knowing he's never been allowed to watch a play. No, they have video shit. Never been able to see Greybridge Friends. Oh, Ross, the Celestial Season's coming. We were on a break.
Jeffrey,
could you be any more noble?
The king guest stars every 3rd episode.
God.
Okay. So you've got him. Attikus is running towards you. But that's where we leave our tired psyker. But we have the key to opening the warp gate, so that's good. Good news. Speaking of Attikus, you're up. You see Gideon run forward with Jeffrey and hoist up Trin Rakai. What do you do?
I can't remember how we feel about holding action in this kind of
I'd let you drop down in initiative. Yep.
Okay. Then I would like to. I haven't moved, so the Nurglings are here with me.
Yep.
You and Morgan are together, I think, around the center of the room, if we're mathing it out correctly.
And
you got
Nurglings are
Nurglings on
happening.
both of you.
Yeah. Maybe I just try and clear the path instead of holding action. I was going to be I try to interpose between Gideon and any of his attackers, but maybe I can just smash. I'm going to do, because I'm going off of the memory of, as I understand it, of hitting things with the power fist resulted in messing up my power fist. These guys are nasty to hit.
You punched through a guy similar to the Overseer. So not the Nurglings. Nurglings go splat real easy. You've seen them burn up. So these guys you feel like you can kill with impunity. It was just punching into the guts of one of these.
I think also mechanically for Tyler's understanding, it was also a despair was rolled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But
not every time,
You don't, just Tyler's player doesn't have to think if we punch him, the weapon's completely fine.
Yeah. It's economy of what can I dissolve to hit something. Then I have the truncheon. Okay, yeah, I'll swat some of these guys with my little club.
Yep, sounds good. Okay, so 2 purple. You get, I think, a boost because it's hard to not hit these guys. There's so many of them. That's, I think, what I've got from my end. They have a defense of nothing because they are a minion swarm.
Okay, and assuming this goes well, I will need the damage and crit info on the
Yep, I got that for you. Roll what you roll, and we'll find out.
Jesus Christ. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes followed by 6 advantage.
So 6 successes plus 6 for your brawn takes you to 12, plus 5 for the weapon is 17 damage.
Damage 5. Okay.
Damn.
The crit is 4.
You won't need
It's
you won't need it for these guys.
It also does disorient 4, which you can make a note if you're hitting things that matter.
Okay. So I think what I'm going to say is you got 6 advantage?
Yes.
If you want to burn all that advantage, I'll let you spill the additional damage over onto Morgan's swarm. Just seems to me I feel like it's whack-a-mole. It's just like like whacking these guys, and just because the way you're describing it of kind of clearing a path, I think that's literally what it is. Just every time you see one, it's just whacking day. Like you're just hitting every nurgling you can. And then you see more over by Morgan, and it's like you don't differentiate between swarms. You just keep walking and keep smacking, stomping, and it's just literally you need to be using your power fist as just another club, and I think it's literally just you stomping monsters.
Okay.
So it doesn't kill the other swarm, but it deals them a hell of a lot of damage, and yours is gone.
Okay, great. Then that will end my turn.
Great.
I won't move. I'm going to stay here on these other guys.
Whirling dervish of nurgling destruction. Amazing. Okay, so that brings us to Morgan.
All right.
You've got 3 nurglings left on you.
Okay.
After Attikus just fucking slaps a bunch of them off you.
Yeah. Am I able to shoot into close combat like this? Because if Attikus is there and I'm here and they're by our feet, is that not possible to do?
Shooting into combat is tough, I think.
I think it adds more It's much tougher to use a
That's
ranged
what
weapon.
I thought.
It depends on the... We'd said flavor-wise, we'd agreed that pistols could be fired into combat because we like 40k model rules of pistols as close combat weapons. I think the sniper rifle might be more tricky.
Right.
But you do have a last pistol that was handed over from the Royal Guards, and Valentine did hand out knives from the Royal Guards that we took from the King's body.
Yeah, then I think as Morgan is trying to get away and get from underfoot of all of these things, with my action, I'm going to have Toby swoop in, and Toby with his grapple shock claws will swoop down at her feet and try to grab them. So it's going to be Toby's
just
attacking.
A hawk going for a mouse.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
This is the most metal fucking thing.
So Toby will swoop down and attack them.
Yep.
Okay. So, and is it difficulty 2, right?
Yep.
It's always 2 for melee.
Okay.
Yep.
Unless it's a super scary
I get a boost because I got one from Attikus forever ago.
Yeah,
I just finally got back around to my turn.
I'll give you another boost for like they're distracted with you, so Toby has kind of easy targets.
Yep.
No one expects the mechanical bird of the Inquisition.
Yeah, I think that's it. I can't give you any setback for like any of the other stuff because he's flying, so he's not dealing with goop.
Yep.
And these 3 nurglings are like crawling up on you, so they're very easy to spot. So yeah, I think.
All right, we're gonna just do what it is. Oh, Toby, shitting my bed.
That's just a part of bird ownership.
Yeah. You know, it really is.
They can't help it.
Yeah.
It's just 2 advantages.
Tobes.
Toby.
I know. In a pinch.
I was worried that you'd rolled something really nasty. We were going to find out that like Toby knocks you prone into the nurglings.
Oh, I know.
Toby attacks you because you're covered in nurgling goo.
He gets swept out by the
big
bird.
nurgling.
Yeah. I think it says I can perform a free maneuver.
Sure.
So I feel like it's just Toby's distracting them enough that Morgan runs for the door.
Morgan leaves both Gideon and Toby behind.
Yeah.
Toby's just swooping down, but
Yeah,
it
I like it. That
harangues
makes
them,
sense to
but
me.
doesn't actually do any damage. Isn't not able to do that, and Morgan just books it.
Sure, and they're like laughing and going like ah as this mechanical bird comes down. It's really cool to them.
Gideon sees Morgan abandoning everything important to her and no longer feels that bad. It's not just him; it's also Toby. She's shedding her
And
possessions.
Eli.
I need a long distance.
the Inquisitor.
The Inquisition, the Emperor.
If I don't have long distance, I'm not helpful here.
All right, so Morgan, that will bring you into the same band as Stinky, who's no longer behind a wall.
Yes.
So it'll take two strain from entering that.
I thought Stinky, Valentine, and Attikus are band 3, and she's booking it to the door, which was 4 because she was in 3.
Oh,
they were
you're
side
in
by
3.
side.
Never
Yeah.
mind.
Okay.
Never mind.
I'm now in the doorway where nobody is.
Oh, I should take 2 strain then.
Morgan gets to do a nice think in the door. you
Yeah,
know?
nice
Yeah.
sink in the door. Cool. Okay. Good round, Morgan. Next up, we have the Overseer, who is now engaged in combat with Valentine. So he's going to take a swing at you with his Plague Sword, as you do. So he's still got his Jinx going, so that knocks stuff down. What's your difficulty? Or your defense?
Difficulty will be 2. Defense is 4 in melee with the refractor field active
Hell
and
yeah.
Sella's glory in hand. He is ready to throw the fuck down. I will also spend a story point to make things harder for this guy because he is battling someone whose faith is truly unshakable. It's not perfect because he's borderline inhuman in his thought process, but it's a logically based faith, which means it's really hard to deal with the contradictions at the core of his soul.
I'm trying to think if this guy gets anything else. I don't think so, so I'm just going to go ahead and roll. Ooh, 1 advantage, 2 failure. So he's going to pass. What can I spend advantage on? Sorry, I don't have your...
You can spend them as threat as the GM, so it's like any of your threats.
Oh, okay, great. So
Fight that shit.
I'll say 1 strain to you.
Sure, yeah, that makes perfect
Valentine, just for dodging out of the ways of these strikes. But again, we established he kind of has the Baraka from Mortal Kombat or like Assassin's Creed blade thing coming out of his hand. So where you're fighting with a sword, he's stabbing forward at you, which means it's easier to kind of get around, and the refractor field is rejecting it. And through the sort of bullet hole in his cheek, like a smile grows because he's enjoying fighting a legitimately worthy opponent.
Well, and Valentine's realizing that he can't kill this guy with traditional weapons. So it's like the sword is there to parry the blade, and then he's just throwing him off balance with bolter rounds. He's not even trying to kill him with them. It's just the concussive force to just cause occasional staggers as they throw down.
Love it. For the record, he can die from conventional weapons.
Oh, no, I mean, but Valentine's like, the sword does the more damage.
100%.
So it's like, keep him open with
and
the
like
secondary
blowing pieces
weapon.
of them off. Yeah. I love that. So yeah, just keeping him pinned. You can also tell, just like one professional to another, he was really bored watching all these Nurglings just defile our rooms. So like having actual combat, loving it. He's happy to be here. Happy to be involved, Cotton. Okay, so that's him. Nurgling Swarm. The final remaining Nurgling Swarm is fighting Toby. They're going to take their attacks, but because they are a swarm and they are down, they are not nearly as effective as they previously were.
Okay.
So, Morgan, what is Toby's defense?
No defense.
No defense. Okay. So I think this is just a straight roll. I'm not going to give them any setback for anything. I've got 1 yellow, 2 green against 2 purple. Also,
wait. Sorry. While airborne, the creature has defense too.
I think you
So I
have
don't know
to
if it
swoop
counts.
down to bite.
It's totally fine.
And what is our story point situation? I'm a bad GM.
You
I'm tracking it.
have...
I think we're at 2-3 now.
Yeah, we're at 2-3 now.
2-3?
So you
Okay.
have 3 and
I'm
we
going
have
to spend
2.
a story point to jack this up because these little guys need some help.
Well, then I'll spend it back. Put it back, Tom. Toby.
Toby.
Morgan may have abandoned Toby, but Dell never will.
Yeah, fair point.
Morgan's still seeing through Toby, controlling him. So.
Also, Morgan is standing in a door being like, I'm safe, and then watching Nurgle just punch her directly in the face. And
Exactly.
Wash. Wow. Just a wash. They're biting metal and they're like, and they're like spitting like goo on it and being like, there's a lot of like, in my head, they're kind of like minions from the fucking Despicable Me movies. So they're just kind of like, and like just doing gestures to like, what are we doing with this? And like another one starts stabbing it and it's like this, so Morgan, you're just watching things that
Toby
were very
vision.
good at killing you fail to kill a robotic bird.
It's We like that. We like that for Toby.
Great. Okay, bring us to the bottom of the round. Valentine.
Valentine is just continuing his duel. So it's he shifts. He kind of came in hard on the offensive, and then it was defensive to get the feel of the strike and create a false sense of rhythm. Because every trained duelist knows rhythm will fucking kill you. And if this guy was bored, then it's perfect because he's going to be opening up. He's going to start with some of his own routines. So for Valentine, it's just there. Get him wrong-footed, blast the foot, and go for a big strike at the head. Because decapitation, it's very hard because there are a lot of important organs in the head for the body. And he'll just say, I may understand that Nurgle has his own garden, but let me tell you, I'm the exterminator. And then there's just a gun blast into the foot and the slash at the head. And we find out what happens with the die roll. For 2 purple. The difficulty is 1 setback because he's a little bit disabled. Is there anything else that I should be adding to this die pool?
You got to take your strain damage from Stinky.
Yep, that's fine. That doesn't change the die pool, but
no, it doesn't.
It's important for us to track. Yes, agreed.
But otherwise, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
All right, let's see what happens. 1 failure, 1 advantage. Interestingly enough.
Gross.
There was nothing that carried forward boost-wise, right? No, there wasn't.
No,
Unfortunately. I have 1 failure, 1 advantage. So the duel continues.
Yep. Blade, you shoot him in the foot, and doing so, he lurches. Your sword cuts, slashes a horn off his head. And he continues to grin, though, through gritted teeth. You can tell it's slightly less jovial grinning now that pieces of him are missing. But you remain deadlocked with the Nurgle overseer as your companions slowly rally around you in a desperate attempt to get out of this room before you all die.
This episode of the Valentyne Heresy features the voices of players Ryan LaPlante, Tyler Hewitt, Josh Halbot, and Del Borovic, alongside Game Master Tom McGee. This episode was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and the Valentyne Heresy's artwork was created by Del Borovic at delborovic.com. That's DELBOROVIC.com. Our theme song is The Hordes by Megan McDuffie, and our ad breaks use the tracks No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR. All of their music is available at freemusicarchive.org. For all things Dum-Dums and Dice, including merchandise and how to join our Patreon, you can visit dumdumdice.com or find us on social media at dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. Ave Imperator, and death to all the heretics.
Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: Christopher Little, George Dolby, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Glitch Trick, Flynn1138, Alarain Okapi, Schrodinger's Pepper, Madre de Gatos, Lady Maiden, Mithrian, Garbo Ape, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, Dagger Rain, Rob L, Dia De Los Hoodless, Squishy Werewolf, Remy Funky Head, Accent Therapeutic Services in Florence, Kentucky, Lael, Shulzari, The Long Family, Jordan Oliver, Richard Wright, Brittany Fenwick, Alex Parr, Dragonfly, The Body Barrelers, Megan Werner, A Man Out of Time, Curtis at FingerTechRobotics.com, Panda24NN, Shendra D, Your Homeboy Bones, The Gator Family, Ellis Hatch, Odigenous, Beef Not Cheese, Kai Koa, Squire Solaire, Sandy Sassy Pants, Adam, Amira Lockhart, James Molina, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.